So guys, it looks like Android 8.0 Oreo has destroyed my phone. It has destroyed my HTC U11. And that sounds like a wild claim, but it's not far off the truth. A few days ago I did a video about smartphone battery degradation. I spoke about how the capacity of lithium ion batteries go down over time because of the increased number of cycles. By the time I really didn't realise how bad the battery problem was with my HTC U11. Now this phone is about 8 or 9 months old now, about 8 months old or so. And I've always been happy with it. In fact, one of the things I was really happy with was battery life. But that all changed recently, and at first I thought, right, have I installed any rogue apps? No, I haven't. I haven't installed anything like that. And it all pointed back to the only major change I made was upgrading to Android 8.0. But the difference is mind-boggling. You know, this went from a phone that was, this battery life was amazing, to a phone that battery life is horrendous, and it did that overnight. Now, I spoke about this the other day, and I spoke about how, you know, there was no apps that were using a huge amount of time, so there was nothing apparent that was, you know, that was happening there. But when it did become apparent was overnight. You see, this phone has got a 3000 milliamp battery, and that capacity is obviously degraded, you know, by about 10%, 15% over time. But this has always been great on standby. You know, you put your phone, you go to bed, it's got 80%, you wake up, it's probably got about 76%, 77%. It's that good. You know, I was always happy with it because of that. You know, I wasn't charging my phone at night because I knew if I went to bed at 50%, I was waking up, it was 46, 47%. That isn't the case anymore since I upgraded to Android 8.0 Oreo. I noticed that a few nights ago. I went to bed one night, it was about 8%. I woke up, it was about 20%. I went to bed, it was about 55%. And I woke up, I won't go into it, there was a family emergency. My little brother was banging on my door because my phone was dead. It went from 55% down to 0 in like 6 hours or so, 6.5 hours or so. And that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. There's no rogue apps operating in the background. And you can point to, you know what, I contacted HTC about this on Twitter, and they said, wipe your cache partition. You can do that through the recovery mode. I did that. They asked if my, the signal, you know, I realised if it's a bad signal for your phone, it needs more power. No problem. The signal is always at full or 3/4. It's no different than it was before. So there's nothing like that happening. It's Oreo. So my advice to any of you guys out there, if you have an Android phone, look into this issue. You know, I don't know what it's like with other phones. You know, if you've got a Sony phone, you've got a Samsung phone, I'm not sure about how bad this problem is here. I haven't, you know, investigated that much. But I would say before you upgrade to 8.0 for your phone, please do a little bit of research and just search whether this is an issue with your particular company. Now, in the past, I used to always do that. I used to say, okay, what does this update add? Is there any problems? I'd maybe wait for a while. But I got a little bit lazy because the updates were always fine in the past, and I just clicked the upgrade button. Now, I don't know if this is affecting every single HTC U11 owner, but I do know that, you know, having checked on some forums, doing some searches online, there's a lot of people complaining about this, and it's clearly, you know, it's clearly not just me that's got this problem. And of course it isn't. It's a software update. It went from being perfect to abysmal overnight just from that update. And it sounds silly that I didn't notice it at the time, but, you know, I just went, oh, okay, I've upgraded, and then I just went, you know, just went and did what I normally, you know, do every day. It's quite interesting though, because from a legal point of view, I don't know where I stand yet. I tweeted to HTC, I tweeted to Carphone Warehouse, but normally, you know, for a phone company, what they would do is just send you out another phone. But if they just sent me out the same phone and it was on 8.0, I suspect it would have the same problems. But it isn't a stretch to say that this phone is now becoming unusable, because I can't leave the house now without a battery pack. And I know a lot of people say, well, I'll leave the house with a battery pack, it's not a major problem. Well, it's not the point. There's no point having a thin and sexy phone if you always have to take a large battery pack with you. And it's not the point that, you know, this phone went from having an amazing battery to a terrible battery overnight. Now, I'm hoping that HTC, you know, address this issue in 8.1 or whatever the next update is. But how long will it be until that you know, until that update. Could be weeks, could be months. I mean, they didn't release Oreo 8.0 for quite a few months after it was available on Google devices. So I don't know when the update is coming, but I can tell you I'm not happy, because it does make this phone very unusable in many ways. Like, for example, the Type-C charging port, right? You don't have a headphone jack, so you need to use this for the microphone. You know, if you want to plug in, forget it. If I need to plug in this, I need to use this adapter. It goes in. The problem with that is I can't charge at the same time. Now, I did a live stream with this setup recently, like this, and I think I got about an hour and a half. I didn't have full battery at the time, and despite not having a full battery, I think I streamed live for about an hour and a half. I think I'd be lucky to get 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes on this now, live streaming. It just wouldn't be possible. And the fact that I can't charge at the same time means that, well, I can't use this to live stream now. Recording videos is going to kill my battery as well. And these, you know, live streaming YouTube with the camera is one of the main reasons I bought this phone. So I'll keep you guys updated to where I stand on that. Hopefully HTC or Carphone Warehouse can resolve this issue for me. But a word of warning to you guys, this really has destroyed the battery. And it isn't really about the capacity either. You know, AccuBattery says that the capacity has dropped to around 2,600 milliamps. But even if it does degrade to that maximum capacity, that doesn't mean that standby should be going from 3% overnight to 50, 60, whatever, you know, 50, 60% plus overnight. So yeah, I'm not happy about this. It's very annoying. Granted, I should have checked before I did the update, but it's one of those things. So guys, I'll keep you guys updated, but if you know anything about this, please do leave a comment below if it helps me or anyone else. And if you are an Android user and you're still in the 7th version of Android, do some searches before you upgrade to 8.0. If it comes up, we have a new version of Android 8.0. Maybe do a little bit of research before you upgrade, just in case this is a common Android problem. It could just be an HTC problem, the way that they've, you know, changed it. I don't know, but hopefully it is addressed soon, and I will keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Cheers, guys.